My head's cut off, but we don't mind. All right, there we go. Do you guys want to turn those off or leave them on?
Yes.
Whatever will help.
Okay. Be right back.
Just listening to that on the way here.
Really?
17th century songs written for.
Let me see if that might be too
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I know the video might not be
For the nuns.
Yeah, that's too dark. Sorry.
Yoga after dark.
Ah,
I know.
Need more candles.
yoga after.
Made a nice soft ring light.
Sorry. All right, now we're starting. Okay, so tonight is Blue Moon Yoga. We have our blue exercise ball, and we're gonna
be.
softish. Yes,
Okay.
but are a little softish. If they're hard, it can be a little uncomfortable.
All right.
But personal preference. There's some that might be more inflated than others. I got tired. All right, so let's start with our moon salutation. And since we have these, we can use these. We don't have to pretend we have a ball in our hands. So feet are nice and wide. We're going to bring the ball in the hands. We're going to inhale, bring it up. If you don't have a ball at home, you can just imagine that you have one in your hands.
Amazon.
So we're going to inhale that up, and then let's exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, up. Exhale, arms back by your sides-ish. One more time, up.
Austin, you may need to do this on the knees.
And then back down. All right, now we're going to go side to side. So we'll inhale, bring it back up. On the exhale, over towards the left. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the right. Beautiful. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the left. And if you want to bring this left arm down towards the left leg, inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, right arm comes down. Inhale, bring it back up. Excellent. If you want to do a itty bitty baby back bend, you can bring the ball behind you a little bit. And then inhale, back up. Exhale, release. Beautiful. All right. So let's put that aside for the moment. We will come back to it later. Okay, stay right there. All right. So if everybody has their blocks, they're wet from the rain, go ahead and have those handy. And we're going to go through some more of the moon salutation poses. So we're not going to do them necessarily in any order. We're just going to do whatever we feel like. It's that kind of night.
We can do.
All right. Is that okay?
Right?
Okay.
Start by taking off your socks.
Well, the floor is wet and I didn't want. Okay, so what are we going to do next? Let's come into our goddess and star poses. So if you are on a mat, you're going to turn your feet kind of out at an angle, and you can even turn sideways on your mat if you prefer, if you want your legs out a little wider. So we're going to come into our goddess pose first. We're going to bend the knees, and then arms come out, bend at the elbows. Then you can bend at the wrist if you like. Keep them straight. Bend them back and forth. And then on the inhale, we're going to come up into our star shape. So straighten out the arms, straighten out the legs. And let's do that a couple more times. On the exhale, come down into goddess. Bending the knees, elbows, wrists. Excellent. And then inhale, come back up. And then exhale down to goddess. Inhale. And then on the exhale, release out. Beautiful. All right. We're going to come into let's do our pyramid pose next. So we're going to grab the blocks and we'll do this version of it with the blocks. So 2 blocks up at the top of the mat. We're going to step this right foot somewhere in between the blocks. So we want to hinge at the hips here. The idea is that the front leg is straight, projection. If that's not great on your balance, you can bring the feet wider apart this way, closer together this way, or put a little angle in that back foot. So whatever works for your balance and stability. So you may not reach down to the blocks, and that's fine. You don't have to go all the way down there. You can just bring your hand to your leg. Just don't put pressure on that knee. Blocks you can. Maybe it's kind of early in class, you can reach the floor, but that is not necessary. And let's take a breath or two here. And then when you're ready to come up, we're going to bend that knee, bring the arms out to the side, push in with the feet, inhale, and bring the arms all the way up, and hands to heart. We'll bend that front knee, push off, and step back. All right, other side. So we'll step this left foot forward. And again, you can keep a bend in that front knee, bend in the back knee. Wherever your feet land, that's fine. If you want to adjust them, that's fine too. So we're going to go on the other side. We're going to hinge at the hips. Take an inhale. On the exhale, we're going to hinge forward. If you can reach the blocks, great. If not, bring your hands to that front leg. Or you can also keep your hands on the hips. Take a breath or two here. Beautiful. And when you're ready to come up, plant that foot in front, arms come out to the side, and then we're going to bring them all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Bend that leg, push off, step it back. All right, so more fun stuff with our moon salutation poses. We're going to come down and do our lunge. So if you have any knee issues and you want to grab a blanket, we'll bring this blanket down here, blocks up at the front of the mat, and then we're going to come down onto hands and knees. And before we come into our lunge, we're going to do a little cat and cow just for waking up the spine a little bit before we come into that lunge. All right, so we'll start with our cat. We're going to exhale, round the spine, shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Tuck the chin. Inhale, opposite curve with the spine, looking up towards the horizon, leading with the collarbones. Beautiful. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Excellent. When you've finished your last one here, we're going to come to that neutral spine and then work our way up into our lunges. So we've got 2 blocks here. If you don't want to use blocks, you don't have to. You can use the floor, that's fine. But using blocks gives us a little bit more space here. So a couple of options here. You can move the blocks over to bring this right foot up to the top here. If you don't want to do that, you can just bring it straight up ahead. It's not always the easiest move, so that's why we go out and around. All right, and then center that right foot. The first thing we want to do is bring the pelvis down towards the floor. So that knee might come out a little bit more forward, giving that hip flexor on the left a little bit of a stretch maybe. And then come back to center. So let's do a couple of additions here on for our lunge. So this is our first position. You can stay right here or you can come down to the floor. From here, I'm going to bring my hands up onto my right leg. You're welcome to do that or stay in your blocks if that's too much tonight. And then when you're ready, if you'd like, you can bring the arms up towards the ceiling. And since it's our full moon yoga, If it's okay with your back, if you want to do a little bit of a back bend, we're going to look up towards the ceiling and maybe bring the arms back a little bit for our crescent lunge. And then hands come back up, hands come down, and then we'll bring the hands down to the block. Excellent. All right. Right knee goes back, and then we'll bring that left foot up. So you can go out and around, or bring it straight through. And the first thing we want to do is bring the pelvis down towards the floor. Take a breath or two here. Excellent. And then back to center. You're welcome to stay here. And that can be your pose for tonight. Or if you want, you can bring hands up onto that left knee. And then again, you can stay right here, or if you'd like, bring the arms up overhead. Once you have your balance here, you can stay or go back down. Other option is to come into our crescent lunge, looking up towards the ceiling, arms come back a little. And then working your way back down, hands down to the blocks. Bring that knee back. And then we can set the blocks off over to the side. And then we're going to come into our low squat. So our Malasana or garland pose. So that one, I'm going to actually come up to come back down into it. So that's this one. So it's easier to stand up and then come back down. Or skip it entirely. If you want to come into a child's pose instead, you can do that. So the elbows are pushing the knees away, palms together, thumb can touch the heart. Take a breath or two here. And then when you're ready, let's come down to the floor, but have your ball within reach. So falling gracefully onto the floor. All right, so that was the poses of the moon salutation, not in order, just generally what some of the poses are. All right, so let's start with a little seated cat and cow here. If you can, cross your legs. If that's uncomfortable, you can leave the legs out straight. If you have your legs crossed, you can bring the hands in front of the knees, otherwise hands under the thighs. We're going to exhale and round back into our seated cow. On the inhale, rounding forward, looking up. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Excellent. And then coming back to center. Let's come into a side to side here, our laterals. If you have blocks, you're welcome to use them. If you don't want to use them, that's fine too. I find I get a little bit more height in the spine when I use them. I'm pushing in and up. If you don't want to use them, that's fine. You can use the floor, either way. All right, so if you have them, or if you don't, we're going to start with the left hand. And we're going to inhale this right arm up. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, bring it back. Excellent. And then let's add on to this. So we're going to inhale this right arm up. On the exhale, leaning over. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, a couple more on your own. And then let's take a pause here. We're going to bring this right arm up, and then we're going to breathe into that right rib cage. Excellent. We'll bring that right hand back. Inhale this left arm up, and breathing into that lower left rib cage. Excellent. Inhale and release. Beautiful. All right. Let's come into the last two directions of our 6 directions, which is our twist. So we're going to inhale, lifting up. On the exhale, right hand comes to that left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Excellent. And then we'll finish up evenly. Come back to center. And then to come back to that symmetrical spine, we're going to do a couple more cat and cow. So exhale back to cat. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Excellent. And then back to center. Let's come into a seated forward fold here. So we're going to bring both legs straight out. And then when you're ready, let's do this a couple of different ways. So we'll start with just a forward fold. We're going to hinge at the hips. We can start with the hands on the floor, on the legs. You're going to inhale, lift up in the spine. On the exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Just going as far as is comfortable, not pulling on anything in the body. You can rest the hands on the floor or the legs. And let's take a couple breaths here. So we're going to inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, forward fold. And one more, inhale. On this exhale, release all the way down. You can round the spine, tuck the chin. Letting go. Release into your pose. And then when you're ready to come out, we're going to inhale and walk the hands back. Inhale, lifting up with the spine, coming back to seated. Beautiful. All right. So let's do that again. We're going to use the arms and gravity. So on the inhale, we're going to lift the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. We're just going to tap with the fingers. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, forward fold. Tap the fingers. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale. And exhale, release the arms out to the sides. All right, let's do one leg at a time now. So we're going to bring this right leg out a little bit. You can keep it on your mat, or you can go a little bit further, whatever works for you. And then we're going to bend this left knee, left foot comes into that right thigh, or wherever it reaches. It may not come, if it's out here, that's fine, wherever that works for you. All right, so we're going to inhale, lifting up, turn the torso to face that right knee. Arms can come up, and then exhale, forward fold. And then we're going to cross the wrist over that leg wherever it reaches. And then take a couple breaths here. So inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. And one more, inhale. And exhale. Extend the arms out over that leg. Inhale, arms all the way up, back to center. Exhale and release. Use your right hand under that right knee to bring that leg in. Extend that left leg out, bend the right knee, right foot comes into that left thigh, or wherever on your left leg that it reaches. We're going to inhale the arms up, turn the torso towards that left knee. Exhale and forward fold. You can cross the wrists, release the shoulders, and we'll take a couple breaths here. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Extend both arms out over that left leg. Inhale all the way up. Exhale and release. Use that left hand under that left knee and bring both legs out in front. We're gonna bend the knees, wrap the arms around the knees, drop the chin and rock side to side. Excellent. From here, let's come into some of our work with the ball. So if you don't have one at home, you can use a blanket and roll it up into a blanket roll, a burrito, or we're going to use these. So if you have something like this at home, that's great. If you don't worry, you can still relax and enjoy the pose. So if you have a blanket and you roll it up, you can use it like that. And I can show you some stuff with that. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with this in the upper back. So if you want to have a blanket under your head, we're going to do that. Actually, sideways. Oh, I don't have room for sideways. So we're going to bring this up in between the shoulder blades. And then we're going to have our head on a blanket, probably double thick, but you may have to adjust it depending on how big your head is, right? Okay, so you guys got that? Where this is going? Kind of in between the shoulder blades and the head in that area. And we're going to be here for a few moments, so make sure you are comfortable. And if you need more blanket, roll it up higher or roll it into a burrito so that the head is not hanging in space. And then if this is uncomfortable on your lower spine, bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet into the earth. If it's more comfortable to extend the legs, that's fine too. So we're going to do this for a few moments, and then we'll move the ball down the back, and then we'll do the sides. So we're releasing tension in the body. If it's more comfortable for the shoulders to have the arms out in a T, letting you have space, you can do that as well. Just kind of see what works for your body tonight. So bringing your attention to your breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the nose. If this is uncomfortable for your sinuses or your spring allergies, bringing the head up higher is an option, or having something not quite as high as these balls works too. You can do this on a block, but those hard edges are sometimes uncomfortable. All right, let's take 3 more breaths here. After you finish your third breath, we're going to roll off and over to one side. Bend your knees, feet come into the floor, and then rolling over. Oops. And then we're going to move the ball further down the back. So we're going to come into the mid back. And again, if that's uncomfortable, a smaller prop, a rolled up blanket, or just being flat on the floor might be uncomfortable as well. But you might want something taller under the head, like a block. And again, the arms can be out at your sides or out in a T. The other option is to bend the knees and bring the feet into the floor if that's more comfortable. And you might also find that after you've been here for a few moments that you can lower the head down, or if you've landed in a spot that's uncomfortable with the ball, you can adjust where that is too. So let's bring our attention back to the breath. Simple inhale and exhale using just the nostrils. And let's take 3 more breaths here. When you finish your third breath, you're going to roll off onto one side or the other. And then move the ball out of the way. And I'm going to bring it down to the low spine. And if this is not comfortable, if you have any back issues that you're concerned about, you can skip it or find something that's not quite as high. So this is about half as high if you want to do that. So try it, see if it works. If it's uncomfortable, and again, you may want to adjust what's under your head. If it's too high or too low, add a blanket, take it out of the way. And depending on how this feels on your shoulders, you can bring the arms closer into the body or further up towards a T. And bringing the attention back to the breath. At any time, if it becomes uncomfortable, you can always come out of this pose or any pose. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And after you finish your third breath or so, kind of roll over and coming off the ball. Before we go to our sides, we're going to come into our Apanasana. So we're going to bring the knees up into the chest, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Hands can be on the knees or down at the base of the thighs. So if they're on the knees, the exhale comes in, inhale, release. Or if they're on the front of the thighs, exhale, hands slide up. Inhale, hands slide back down. Let's do at least 3 Apanasanas. And then when you finish that, we're going to bring the feet down to the floor or your mat. And then we're going to bring the ball under our right side. So we're going to roll over onto our right sides. And you're going to want to have your blanket or your block ready for under your head. And we're going to come up. I think we're just going to do this once on each side. So we're going to do the middle between the ribs and the hip, kind of that soft area. And then bringing your head onto the block, finding the most comfortable of this uncomfortable position. And if the block's too high, you want to come down lower, you can come down onto that bended arm or blanket rolled up. Finding whatever's comfortable. We'll be here for a few moments. And if you have some range of motion in that upper arm, you bring that arm up overhead. If that's comfortable, you might get a deeper relaxation on that left side body. If that's uncomfortable, you can leave that arm on your side. Again, bringing your attention to the breath. And let's finish this side with 3 breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to roll off the ball carefully. And then let's come to the other side. Scooch, scooch, scooch. I need to move technology to the other side. And then coming up. And one side might be more comfortable than the other, or less comfortable, as it were. So finding maybe a block under your head or a blanket. Coming into the breath. This upper hand can come overhead if that's comfortable. If it's not, you can bring it on your side body. And we'll have a couple of breaths. We'll pay attention to the breath, sorry. And let's take 3 more breaths. Roll off on this side. And then we're going to come back onto the back. And come back into our Apanasana. Hands come to the knees or the front of the thighs. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, release. Excellent. And then let's bring the feet down to the mat. And then rolling over onto the right or left side. Back up to seated for a moment. And let's come back into that cat and cow. And find some symmetry back into the back. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And when you're ready, we'll come back to that neutral spine. Let's bring the legs out in front with the soles of the feet together. So they can be out pretty far. They don't need to be up close like that. So we'll making this big diamond shape. We're going to come into diamond in the sky, stars. Right. Stay focused. Okay, so we're going to come into a forward fold. So you can bring your elbows towards the knees and your hands towards the feet. Maybe they reach, maybe they don't, that's okay. And we're going to inhale, lifting up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. And one more, inhale. And exhale. Excellent. All right. If you feel like it tonight, we're going to come into a turtle pose. I don't know if we've done this before. All right. So bring your feet out a little bit wider. And then we're going to walk the hands under the legs. And then walking the feet back towards each other. Hands come out as far as they can. Excellent. And then exhale into the fold. Very nice. And then unpretzeling here. Walk the hands back up. Bring the feet into the mat. Bend the knees, wrap the hands around. Drop the chin and rock side to side. All right, so when you're ready, we're going to come back down onto our back. We're going to grab our ball. So hands on the knees, we're rolling back onto the flat of the back. Feet come down to the mat. And then going to, before we do the ball, let's do our 4 directions with the legs. So we don't have straps, which is fine. You can do this with a strap if you have one handy, and you can do it without. So we're going to do it without tonight. So we're going to extend this right leg up towards the ceiling, and we're going to bring the hands behind that right leg. On the exhale, that right leg comes in towards the chest. Inhale, release. Exhale, in. Inhale, release. And one more. Exhale in. Inhale, release. From here, we're going to bring this right leg out towards the right side. So you can bring that right hand on the outside of that right leg. Left arm can come out in a T. And if you want, you can bend and straighten that right leg over towards the right side of the floor, just going as far as is comfortable. And then when you're ready, you can bend and straighten to bring that right leg back up to center. You may need to extend that left leg out of the way so you can bring that right leg across the body towards the left side of the floor. Again, just going as far as is comfortable. When you're ready, bend and straighten to bring that right leg back up to center. We're going to bend the knee and bring that foot to the floor. Bend the left knee, and then we're going to bring that left foot up towards the ceiling. Hands come behind that leg. Exhale, bring that left leg in towards the chest. Inhale, release. Exhale, left leg comes in. Inhale, release. And one more. Exhale. And inhale. Left hand on the outside of that left leg as you bring it over towards the left side of the floor. You can bend and straighten. Just going as far as is comfortable. And then when you're ready, you bring that left leg back up to center. Bend and straighten. Switching hands. You need to move that right leg out of the way as you cross the body with that left leg over towards the right side of the floor. Left leg comes back. You can bend and straighten. And then we'll release it down to the floor. All right, let's come into our upside down number 4. So we're going to bring this right foot or right ankle onto that left thigh. Use that right hand on the right knee, left hand on that left hip to open up by pushing that right knee away from the torso, keeping that left hip on the floor. Very nice. And then from here, you can stay right here if this is where you want to be, or you can grab that left knee to bring that right leg closer, or left foot comes up towards the ceiling. This is our upside down number 4. Hands behind that left thigh. And then release that left foot down to the floor. Right foot comes down to the floor. Then we're going to bring this left foot or left ankle onto that right thigh. Right hand on that right hip, left hand on that left knee. Opening by pushing that left knee away. And then release. You can stay right here or bring that right knee in towards the chest. Or extend that right foot up towards the ceiling, hands behind that right thigh for our upside down number 4. Excellent. Bring that right foot down to the floor. Left foot comes down to the floor. Let's bring both knees up into the chest. At least 3 Apanasanas. And if you want, you can bring the knees out wide, if that's more comfortable on that back. More space for the neck. Excellent. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring both feet down to the floor and grab your blue ball. Bring both legs all the way straight up. I think I already said that. We're going to bring the ball in both hands. On the inhale, we're going to lift it up and overhead. Exhale back your snow angels or hands to the heart, whatever feels right for you. And maybe 1 or 2 more. I think that was 3 or 4. All right, set the ball down on the side. Bring the arms down by your sides. Palms face down. We're going to inhale, lift the thumb up towards the ceiling, rolling over the pinky so that the palms face up. Exhale, palms back down to the floor. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Release the arms. Palms can face up or palms face down. Release the legs. Let the feet fall away from each other. Getting anything that you need for your comfortable relaxation pose. I'm going to pop up and turn the lights down. So if you want a blanket under your head or over you, that might cool off a little bit. Got extra blankets. And as we start our relaxation, we're going to, in our minds, picture this beautiful full moon that's underneath all of these rain clouds. And maybe in your vision you can see all of the stars. A beautiful, almost spring evening, walking out in the woods, seeing your shadow from the full moon. And as we start to relax, let's walk up the body, relaxing the toes, relax the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees and the space behind the knees. Relax the top of the thighs, the back of the thighs. Release the pelvis. Let it be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the rib cage and let go of breath. Release the spine from the tailbone all the way to the base of the skull. Let the shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Relax the jaw. Release the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Let the eyes fall to the back of the head. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. Roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, using your upper arm to push up to a comfortable seated position. And to bring breath back into the body and find us safely on our way, we're going to finish with our sun breath that we're actually going to call our full moon breath. So we'll start with the hands at the heart. We're going to inhale, drop the hands down all the way around and touch the fingertips up at the top, above the head. Exhale, arms all the way out and around, hands come back to the heart. 3 times. Ready? Here we go. Inhale, hands down, arms all the way up, fingertips touch. Exhale, arms down, all the way around, hands to heart. Again, inhale, arms down and around, fingertips. Exhale, down and around, hands to heart. Last one, here we go. Inhale. And exhale. Hands are at the heart, palms come back together, thumb can touch the heart. As we go forth out into this beautifully wet, full moon evening, let's go forth with kindness, compassion, and gratitude, not just for others, but especially for ourselves. If you'd like, may I bow and say namaste. Namaste. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.